there, I'm Alan from Ailsa Pottery down in Kent. Today we're going to do some production throwing. We do a lot of production throwing here. It's generally for sets of things and items that we make over and over again. So the idea is that if somebody buys a set of mugs and they break one, they can replace it because they know the one they get buy the week after is going to be the same size and colour as the one they bought previously. Okay, so today we're going to make some of our standard shaped mugs, which is this pot here. So I've made the first one. What happens is that all the clay I've weighed, and it's a pound of clay per pot. So it's very important to weigh all your clay so it's exactly the same weight. I've thrown the first one, and because it's a standard pot that we make, we've got a measurement for the height and the width of this pot. So I'll measure the first one, which is 4.5 inches high by 4 inches across the top. So I'll throw the first one, measure it, and then I'll set a gauge post, which is this device here, to the top of the rim of the pot, and that will give us the height and the width that we need. Okay, now I've lost a wire. If you're doing this for the first time, then I'll suggest you do something simple like a small cylinder pot of some sort, so you can weigh all your clay out and make up to that. So the next pot I'm throwing is the same as what I've just thrown. Just so it's just about near enough touching that point. There we have another mug. Once you've found the shape that you're very comfortable with throwing, I would suggest that that was where your starting point would be. So make a pot that you're comfortable with, make sure you know the weight of clay you've used, set a gauge to it, and try and make exactly that pot again. It's a very good discipline to get your throwing really up to scratch. Isn't that right, William?
Yep, I'll say so.
When we turn these pots as well, we turn them in a chuck so that you don't centre each pot on the wheel. You sit them over a chuck, which is basically a centred piece of clay. You should be able to make sort of 30 to 50 of these pots in an hour, really. So what we're going to do now is turn these pots that I threw yesterday. Now they're quite rough on the bottom where my fingers have been, so the quickest way to do it is on a chuck. And this is a chuck, which is a centred piece of clay. Ideally this should be a little bit drier than the pots. So we sit that over the top of there, centre it by putting your hand around the side and then turn off all the rough bits on the outside of the pot and smooth across the like that. Then we put our little name stamp in there. And to get it off, you just hold the pot and spin the wheel and it comes off. So that's finished turned. And the next pot goes straight back on there. Same again, it's just a very quick way of turning a run of pots. So you make the chuck to fit the diameter of the top of your pot. Also, if you've got a narrow bottomed pot you need to turn in a chuck, you do a different sort of chuck to sit it in.